A police chase ends at your house. The suspect runs inside. SWAT shows up. Hours later, your home is unlivable. So the city pays for that, right? Not necessarily.
Trying to capture a criminal who had run inside during his getaway attempt. This happened in 2015, and the city has refused to compensate that homeowner for the destruction. Jeff Todd has been following this for 4 years now. And Jeff, that man lost his most...
In one real case, the city offered him $5,000 for temporary living costs after his home was left unlivable, and the court said he wasn't owed anything more. Today, we're answering the question nobody thinks about until it happens to them. When a chase ends at your front door, who actually pays for the damage? In 2015, in Greenwood Village, Colorado, a suspected shoplifter, armed and fleeing police, broke into Leo Lech's home. He fired at officers from inside. What followed was a 19-hour standoff. Police brought in an armored vehicle and punched hole after hole through the walls trying to get him out. By the end, the house was uninhabitable. The city's response? It offered to help with some temporary living expenses and otherwise denied any further responsibility.
About half of the cost to rebuild the home. Now the family is also on the hook for paying more legal expenses as well. It was June 2015 when a police pursuit of a suspect randomly ended in the Lech's home. A day-long standoff left the house completely destroyed. The city of Greenwood Village offered $5,000, the amount of the deductible for the insurance. But the family said that wasn't enough. They sued, saying it deserved at least fair market value for the home. The 10th Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in the city's favor yesterday, saying the Lech family isn't owed anything. The city says a national...
Lech's homeowners insurance did pay out, but reporting says it covered only part of the total loss once you factor in the home's full value: demolition, rebuilding costs, and personal property. He reportedly had to take out a loan of nearly $400,000 just to rebuild. Here's the twist that makes this a legal nightmare instead of a simple insurance claim. Courts ruled that when police damage property using their police power in an emergency, rather than taking property through eminent domain, that damage doesn't count as a taking under the law. That legal distinction is the reason Lech lost his case. The Supreme Court later declined to even hear an appeal.
Somebody's home, throw them out in the street, render them homeless, and just walk away from it in any civilized society.
According to the 17-page ruling from the U.S. 10th Circuit Court of Appeals, the judge says this is police power, which would give officers a right to use private property for the protection of public health, safety, and welfare without compensation.
What happened to us is a third world by any...
So the house he did nothing to deserve losing? At least under that federal takings argument, the city did not have to compensate him for the destruction. Most people assume police caused the damage, so police, or the city, pay for it. But the legal system treats who caused the damage and who is legally required to compensate you as two completely different questions. That gap is where homeowners get stuck. If a fleeing suspect's car physically crashes into your house, this is usually the simplest scenario. If the driver is at fault, their auto liability insurance may be responsible for the damage. If they're uninsured, underinsured, or driving a stolen car, all things that can complicate a police chase claim, your own homeowner's insurance may become part of the fight instead. But when the damage comes from police tactics themselves, tear gas, breaching charges, armored vehicles, insurance gets murkier.
Didn't just shoot bullets.
It became more of like an explosive and chemical battle.
They pumped tear gas and other chemicals into the house, then drove their robot up to the garage.
Put a charge on it and it exploded the door.
SWAT vehicles also smashed 2 sections of the backyard wall. When Chacon finally emerged through the roof,
The house wasn't even a...
Some policies exclude damage tied to government action or contamination. In one Texas case, an armed fugitive held a teenager hostage inside Vicky Baker's home. Police used armored vehicles and toxic gas grenades, badly damaging the house.
Recording all it was like 30 tear gas canisters, gone in through the roof, gone in through 6 windows. The girl had come out, they said, about 3 hours before that. She told him that he had a backpack with guns in it, and so the police had to be cautious. I understand that. Though he never fired at them that I am aware of. They put a bomb on the garage.
Her insurer refused to cover the police-caused damage, showing why just call homeowners insurance is not always a clean answer.
You have in a house. I remember calling my insurance company and thinking that everything was going to be covered. She said, "We don't pay those claims." And I said, "You don't understand." I'm trying to tell her, "You don't understand." And she's telling me, "You don't understand. We've never paid a claim like this." And I said, "I want to talk to your insurance company."
The suspect seems like the obvious villain, and legally, they often are the one at fault. But being at fault doesn't mean being able to pay. A suspect may be uninsured, driving a stolen vehicle, or have no meaningful assets to collect from. Winning a judgment against someone with no money and no assets doesn't put a new roof over your head. This is the biggest twist in the whole story. Vicki Baker's case didn't end with the insurance denial. She lost under the federal theory because courts treated the police damage as necessary during an act of emergency. But in May 2026, she won under the Texas Constitution. The court said Texas law can require compensation for innocent third parties, even when police acted properly to catch someone dangerous. Same basic nightmare as Leo Lech's. Different state. A completely different outcome.
Lawyer Jeffrey Redfern with the Institute for Justice says they took a different approach, arguing instead eminent domain.
So we've argued that this is a taking, just like if the government used eminent domain to take your house to build a road or a school. Those are important things. They're good things. We like roads, we like schools, but we don't think that one random unlucky individual should have to bear that burden.
That's the uncomfortable truth. Whether the government owes you anything can depend entirely on which state you live in. One more case worth knowing. In Idaho, police searching for Shanice West's ex-boyfriend fired tear gas into her home, breaking windows and damaging walls, leaving her and her kids unable to live there for months. The officers were granted qualified immunity. The court didn't say the damage was fine, just that the specific law wasn't clearly established enough to hold them liable. In her case, permission to enter became part of a much bigger fight over whether police had permission to use destructive tactics. There is some movement toward fixing this gap. Minnesota passed a law, taking effect January 1st, 2027, that bars homeowners' policies from excluding certain police-caused damage in specific innocent third-party situations, like harm from tear gas or diversionary devices. The insurer can then seek reimbursement from the local government responsible. It's a small sign that lawmakers know the current system leaves people stranded. So, who pays when a police chase ends in your house? If a suspect's car hits your home, the driver's auto insurance or your homeowner's insurance may be the first path, depending on coverage, fault, and limits. If police destroy your house, catching that suspect, the answer gets far harder. Your insurance may deny the claim, the city may claim immunity or necessity, the suspect may have nothing to give, and whether you get compensated at all may come down to which state you live in.
It's left lasting trauma.
I know what it feels like to have your world destroyed.
We don't want murderers running around, but it's not fair to have a random unlucky individual like Vicki Baker left holding the bag.
The suspect caused the chase. The police caused the damage. And too often, the homeowner is the one left holding the